continuing to shine the spotlight on agencies that sure could use your support when you're considering your year-end giving. And we're going to turn now to Hope House, and it does just what the name says. It offers hope to women who are suffering from addiction, from abuse, mental illness, and poverty. Sylvia Beam is with Hope House. Let me ask you this. How do people come to you? Do their doctors or their families force them to go to you? Do they just come knock on your door in the middle of the night? What's a typical Hope House client as far as how they travel that path to your door?
Well, sometimes they do. It's a self-referral, so it's just a woman who's really wanting to get her life back together, or it could be a referral for through DFACS or a court system as an alternative to serving jail time, so that the woman is able to get her life back together.
We mentioned substance abuse, mental illness, poverty. I'm guessing substance abuse is the #1 reason people seek your help?
Yes, and our primary goal is to instill self-sufficiency so that we can break those cycles of poverty, untreated mental illness, and addiction.
How do you do that?
Well,
Are there doctors there?
We have a psychiatrist that the women can see. We have licensed counselors, group counseling, individual counseling. Really the first several months the women are there just to focus on themselves and kind of understanding the underlying cause of their addiction. We also have a nurse on staff who is able to administer medications, and so it's all like one big team that kind of works together.
Who is your typical client? Is it someone from the streets? Is it someone, what do they look like? Who are they?
They're our sisters, they're our aunts, our mothers. We primarily serve single women, women with children, and pregnant women. Those are our demographics, who are low income or homeless.
What can you do for the kids, and what kind of condition are they in? I would imagine it's been a rough ride when they get to Hope House.
Well, we are the only one like us in 13 counties where the children can come with the mother, because that can often be a barrier for women getting treatment, of course. Some of the children never have had a birthday party, so coming into Hope House, we do birthday celebrations for the children. So if that's something anybody would like to help with, they've never had that experience. So we're there to offer them that, and we have a TCC program. It's a therapeutic child care program where it's not just babysitting. They focus on the psychological, social, and emotional well-being of the child.
Children come in and they've never had a birthday party in their whole life.
Sometimes, yes.
How did you connect with Hope House yourself, Sylvia? Tell us about that if you don't mind.
Oh, I don't mind. I actually went through the program. It was a life-changing experience. My recovery means so much to me today. My life is better than I ever expected it to be. I stayed there for 14 months, and now I have the privilege of working as the Grants and Giving Coordinator.
What kind of connection are you able to make with women who come through there? I would imagine that it's probably pretty easy for you to bond with them.
Oh yeah, I can definitely see myself in every woman that's there, and I know if I can do it, that anybody else can do it too.
Why are some women hesitant? Why do they choose to live in silence rather than seek help? Do you know?
Well, my insight is that sometimes they just don't know how. They just don't know how to do it. It feels like you're stuck in this pattern, and there really is help out there, even if you don't have insurance or are able to pay for it.
Once a person agrees to get help and they go to Hope House, do they have to commit to living there? Can any of it be done on an outpatient basis? Just sort of give me the setup for that.
We do have spots open for women who can just come in, be a part of the group, and get the counseling that they need. They don't have to necessarily be a resident, but we encourage women who may need that extra help to definitely stay there as a residential patient.
What happens when they leave? What sort of success stories have you seen once they get out of the program?
There's so many women I've seen just in my own path that have just changed their lives tremendously. And Hope House actually offers transitional housing for those women who do complete the program, where they are able to pay for 6 months of their rent to kind of give them that leg up, because oftentimes that can be hard financially on the women.
What do y'all need over there? What do you need that you can't have because it's hard to pay for it?
Well, I mean, we're always looking for, those essential things like sheets, toothbrush, toothpaste, towels, things like that. So when the women come in, sometimes all they have are the clothes on their back. Oftentimes things that we take for granted in having. And, like I mentioned earlier with the birthday parties for the children, if anyone wants to donate and provide their time and help make a little child's birthday special, that would be greatly appreciated. And we do have Giving Tuesday coming up on the 29th, and anyone can donate at hopehouseaugusta.org.
And I know we're going to put y'all's information on TV in just a moment, but for people watching out there who might have a woman in their life who is reluctant to seek help, or a friend or a coworker, what can we as people in these women's lives do to get them to you? What steps do we need to take to put them in Hope House?
Well, I think it's important to just understand that there is a stigma when it comes to addiction, but recovery is very real. There's over 2.5 million Americans in recovery now, and I think that stigma is changing. So just give love and support. I think that's the most important thing.
Well, speaking of support, we do want to encourage you to support Hope House. We have some information that can help you do just that. You can go to hopehouseaugusta.org, as Sylvia mentioned. You can also just put a check in an envelope right now and mail it to P.O. Box 3597, Augusta, Georgia 30914. Hope House will get it and they will put it to good use. And then can people make those donations of those items you mentioned? Is it okay to do that or easier to send money?
Whatever is preferable to the person, if they'd rather give an in-kind donation. I just wanted to mention, with a woman with a child, the average cost of treatment is about $4,000 per month, and these women get that service through us, and they don't have to pay out of pocket. So
please support Hope House. They will be glad you did. Sylvia and her team do wonderful work over there.